The businessman known as Datuk Roy and an MACC officer pleaded not guilty to 2 charges each for soliciting and receiving bribes in return for not investigating Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's son for alleged wrongdoing linked to the Jana Wibawa program. Datuk Roy or Muhammad Hussein Muhammad Nasir and anti-graft officer Muhammad Rashidi Muhammad Said were jointly charged with allegedly soliciting 400,000 ringgit and receiving 240,000 ringgit as an inducement to not call up Datuk Fakhri Yassin Muhyiddin before the MACC. Separately, at another sessions court, Datuk Roy was slapped with one more charge of soliciting 2 million ringgit in exchange for getting businessman Adam Radlan Adam Muhammad's Jana Wibawa-linked charges reduced, the witness testimonies against him altered, and his bail decreased. Datuk Roy pleaded not guilty to this charge as well. If convicted for any of the 3 charges, the duo may be sentenced to a maximum of 20 years in jail and a fine of not less than 5 times the amount involved or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher. The court fixed July 20th for the next mention of the case. Public Bank says first quarter FY 2023 earnings rose 22% to 1.71 billion ringgit, due mainly to the absence of the prosperity tax. In a Bursa Malaysia filing today, the lender said revenue rose 25% to 6.12 billion ringgit, led by healthy loans and deposit growth. It did not declare any dividend for the quarter. Public Bank MD and CEO Tan Sri Dr. Al-Ikhsan said the bank continued to navigate through the challenges in the evolving operating environment and demonstrated resilience in its first quarter performance, which was mainly supported by commendable net interest income growth and lower loan impairment allowances. Going forward, Indo-China will continue to be the group's key focus growth area, with continued expansion of branch network as well as broadening of products and services. The lender aims to open another 8 new branches in Vietnam to reach a total of 40 branches by year end. Public Bank's shares shed 0.77% to close at 3.89 ringgit for a market value of 75.5 billion ringgit. Putrajaya has given the go-ahead for 2 refiners to sell fine sugar at market price effective today, though the existing ceiling prices remain on refined and coarse sugar. Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Datuk Sri Salahuddin Ayub said the move will not disrupt the supply of coarse and refined sugar, as the refiners, MSM Malaysia Holdings and Central Sugar Refinery have been instructed to continue producing and selling the 2 products. The 2 companies have been urging Putrajaya to review the retail price of sugar to safeguard the sustainability of the local sugar industry, which has not been subsidized for a decade. Currently, the retail prices are capped at 2.85 ringgit per kilogram for coarse sugar and 2.95 ringgit per kilogram for refined sugar. Main market listed MSM, which sank into the red in FY 2022, said the price controls and lack of subsidy had squeezed margins. At the close, MSM's share price was 26.5% higher at 1.05 ringgit, giving the company a market value of 738.13 million ringgit. Minister of Home Affairs Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail does not rule out the possibility of replacing Iris Corp as the contractor of the National Integrated Immigration System or NIISe, should it be unable to implement the project. Saifuddin said in a written reply in Parliament that the project is currently in the requirement and design study phase and is expected to be operational in August 2025. If Iris Corp is found to be unable to implement the NIISe project, he said the government will appoint another contractor to ensure the new system for immigration services can be realised. The NIISe will replace the Malaysian Immigration System or MACC, which has been in use for over 20 years and deemed outdated. Yesterday, Iris announced in a BORS filing that the ministry had extended its subsidiary's contract to implement the new system by 12 months from September 1st, 2025 to August 31st, 2026. Shares in Iris Corp gained 9.5% to settle at 11.5 cents for a market capitalisation of 375.2 million ringgit. Equity National CEO Syed Yasir Arafat Syed Abdul Qadir said it has begun talks to crystallise its investments in Al-Ikhsan Sports. He told a press conference today that Ekuinas, as the fund is called, is open to listing the sportswear retail group and is having discussions on whether or not to exit the investment this year. He added that Ekuinas is open to exiting the investment via an IPO or trade sale, depending on the valuation that Ekuinas gets. Ekuinas bought 35% in Al-Ikhsan Sports in 2016 for 68.6 million ringgit. Asked if Ekuinas is looking to exit Orkim as well, Syed Yasir Arafat said the fund continues to explore opportunities with the shipping firm. Citing sources, a Bloomberg report said Ekuinas, which owns a 95.5% stake in Orkim, is potentially looking at selling it and is seeking as much as 1.5 billion ringgit. Orkim's stake was acquired by Ekuinas in 2014 for almost 346.3 million ringgit.